And I'm like, man, Big Josh soft, man. He won't play with his toe. Like, come on, bro, it's a toe. Man, I heard my toe the first time. I immediately was like, oh my God. If Big Josh knew I thought he was soft, I would tell him I'm sorry because my God, like it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
Welcome back to another episode of Why is Draymond Green Talking About Football with me, Jordan Schultz, presented by Fanatic Sportsbook. I'm NFL insider Jordan Schultz. I'm joined as always by NBA champ and Steelers superfan Draymond Green. We've got a very exciting show planned for the week. And Draymond, we need to start with one of the more shocking events of the season, the return of 44-year-old grandpa Philip Rivers. Now, I was actually in Seattle. I saw the game. I give him a lot of credit. I don't know how much of the game you got to see, but he played relatively well in as tough of an environment as any, and he almost won against a really good Seattle team. What was your first impression of Philip Rivers returning?
I think he doesn't seem like he's in great shape.
He's not. He
And
is not in
and
great shape.
like
No.
and to play the quality of football that he played, after not playing football for 5 years, not being in great shape, being 44 years old, going against a great defense, coming in week 15. Not only has he not played in 5 years, but everyone's also like in the season shape, like almost ready for playoffs. Like you're tip top at this point. So taking all of those things into consideration, and for him to have an opportunity, a chance to win the game at Seattle in a hostile environment. The one thing that we've always known about Phillip Rivers is he'll be able to throw the football till he's 60. He's always been a gunslinger, and he's still throwing the football this great. And I think, it sounded a little like maybe he's done and he just wanted the 5 years of more of an insurance. But if he keeps going, I actually think he can I think he could be productive for the rest of the year for the Colts.
They had a really good game plan because it was very clear they were going to run the ball a ton. The ball was going to come out fast, and they weren't going to put him in harm's way. And as a result, Seattle's vaunted pass rush was not able to get home. Is this a sustainable product for the Colts to make a playoff push? What do you think about them actually making the playoffs with Rivers?
I think if it comes down to it, the way the numbers play out, right? But as
Yeah.
far as a sustainable game plan, like Phillip Rivers will get better and better, right? So, this was his first week playing football. Next week he'll be a little better. The following week he'll be a little better. So I think they'll be able to expand on the game plan a little bit more. I mean, this guy came in midweek and just played in
Yeah.
a football game after 5 years. Like, I think with proper time, they'll be able to expand a little bit more on the game plan because, again, one thing's for certain. Phillip Rivers can read a defense. Phillip Rivers can throw the football. He old as hell. He can't move. When he tried to run out of that pocket, that was the funniest thing in the world. He can't move, but he can throw the ball and he can read a defense. I think that gives them a chance.
The other big story was Patrick Mahomes, specifically tearing his ACL, which was brutal. The Chiefs obviously missed the playoffs. What's the road back when you have a catastrophic injury and you're coming off a year which, by your standards, is not good enough?
Well, I think, I've been fortunate, very fortunate and blessed in my career to have avoided, serious injuries. My most serious one was my back, which is pretty serious. But it held me out for like 3.5 months, which sucked. It was awful. But an Achilles, an ACL, like those rehabs I've only witnessed, and they're treacherous. There's good days, there's bad days. You go for 2 straight weeks thinking you got stronger, and then third week you come in and it just don't feel that way. Like these are all things that I've identified through friends, and teammates and, just being around the game and sports for so long. The mental, getting the confidence back that even once you're back, that it's good. That first time you get hit, you're like, oh, it's
Yeah.
okay, and so it's a step-by-step process. It's not a fun one, but for those that I have seen that are competitors, that are champions, that has always put the work in, they've thrived in coming back from situations like this, and which Patty Mahomes is. For those that
Yeah.
aren't hard workers and always cheated, and then they're faced with something like this, they've never bounced back. So I think, what we'll see is a focus, committed, driven, extremely driven Patrick Mahomes, even more so than what he was before, because he know people will be doubting him now. And I'm looking forward to seeing that Patty Mahomes. And I wish him a great process and a speedy recovery. Never wish that on anyone. But I read one of his notes from Instagram, and I agree with him. You just don't have a reason why. But the greats like Patrick Mahomes make the best of it. They make lemonade out of lemons, and I know he will.
I would totally agree with you. It was really unfortunate for a lot of reasons, but he's been able to avoid serious injury throughout his career. He's always been someone that struck me as hyper competitive, hyper consistent, and that one really hurt as a football fan. It really did, especially at the end of the game. Obviously, it's been a frustrating season for him. That one hurt a lot. The other one to me,
1 second, Joe. And also, end of the season. So it probably cost you the next season, and it's just,
I think
it's
ACL though,
unfortunate.
it's so routine. ACL now is so routine in terms of how many guys get it, and the rehab process. I would imagine that he had a real chance to be back week 1, because that would be what,
No chance.
week
That's
4
just
maybe.
rushing it. Nah, man, these ACLs are really 10 to 12 month processes. And although people do them in 6 months and 8 months, these things are 10 to 12 month processes. So again, do you get to week 12 and come back? Then it depends on where the team is, right? Is the team in a good spot? So that's a lot of times what puts it in jeopardy is where's the team when he's trying to come back? If they're dog shit,
Right.
he's not, and so these things, and the investment of it, right? What is Patty, 29?
I believe he's 30, yeah.
He got another 10 years of football. So are you rushing back on
No.
a 5-6 month? No, the investment in that guy is too big for that. So he almost, again, he's a competitor, he's a champion, so he's going to do all he can to get back next year. But say it don't go that way and he need more time. You rushing back? I disagree with rushing back. So if I'm the Chiefs, I'm looking at it we don't got Patty next year. If you get him, great, but going into it, we don't have him. We need to get the best backup we can get because we don't have him going into next year. Then you talk about what this does to Travis Kelce, right? What happens with him if Patty's out of year.
With his process,
it's interesting.
How much he'd want to be coming back to a non-Mahomes team.
Yeah, exactly. Does he take the Gronk year, right? Does he take the break for 1 year like Gronk, and then come back the following year? Because his years are numbered.
Yeah,
he's getting older.
It'd be like if something happened to Steph, you're not gonna want to come back, not for that year.
I mean, I played without Steph in 2020. It was awful.
Yeah, you
granted,
know what that is.
Our team was
awful.
Everything else was it was bad, but it's just you playing and you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do that.
Is there anything worse than as a professional athlete to go out there and know that it doesn't matter how hard you work or what you do, you're not a championship caliber team. You don't have a chance to compete.
No, championship caliber is one thing, right? Like there's only a few that's championship caliber. But you just want to be able to compete, like
Yeah.
playoff level, maybe squeak in. Like
Win a
not
series.
like
Yeah.
14th, 15th spot in the
Is that where you guys were that year? Were you the
Man, we
worst
were
seed?
15 and we finished 15. And remember that year was COVID shortened, so we only played 65 games.
15 and
But we finished
40?
15 and
50,
50.
45? 15 and 50.
Like,
Wow.
that's no fun. Like, it's the first time in my life I'm walking the arena like, well, yeah, we're going to lose today. Yeah, we're going to lose tomorrow. Like, it's the first
you don't
time
have a
in my
chance.
life
Right.
that I just walked in like, all right, here we go, another loss. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was
Right.
crazy. So,
What did you
does
Yeah.
Travis Kelce want to come back to that? And I'm not saying that the Chiefs will be that, but, I mean, Patty Mahomes out, he make a lot happen.
What did you make of Burrow saying he's going to start the final 3 games of the Bengals season, despite the fact they're eliminated from playoff contention? Because we have already talked about Burrow, but to me, this is so impressive because his mindset is not of himself. It's of team and trying to find something. I don't know, maybe for next year. I was flabbergasted by it.
I'm a Joe Burrow fan. I wasn't that flabbergasted by it. It's just what I expect of Joe Burrow. Like he's a football player. He loves to play football. He's not going to pass up on opportunities to play football. And so, being already that he's missed an entire year, most of this year, then you sit these last 3 games. That's a whole year of football miss. So now coming into next year, you're trying to find a rhythm. Whereas he could find that rhythm these next 3, coming in next year healthy, guns a-blazing, and get back to being Joe Burrow. So I'm not necessarily shocked by it. I'd expect him to want to play. Like these guys, they got 17 games. Like,
Yeah, it's small.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we have 82 games preseason playoff. They have 17 games. And so you should start missing those games. Like, again, you're trying to build a Hall of Fame career as well. You're Joe Burrow, right? Like, so all of these games matter. They only got 17 opportunities. And so I understand it. I understand him playing. And like I said, as an athlete, you never roll out there like today is the day I get hurt. Like, you never roll out there like that.
Yeah, but can you actually parlay 3 weeks of good football into something next season? Is that actually how it works?
I think, yeah, you find a rhythm, you lead the season on a high note. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel like you just went a whole year without playing football. But if he don't play these next 3 games, he's going to feel like he just went an entire year. And Joe Burrow already missed a year of football. So he's going to feel like he just missed another year of football. And I just don't – I understand why he wouldn't want to do that.
It's really important to bring this up, in my opinion. Not that I forecast this at all, but it's important to bring this up because it is the same age Andrew Luck retired, 29. And Burrow did have some really interesting comments last week. I'm not sure if you caught him, but here's what he said.
If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? So that's the mindset I'm trying to bring to the table. I've been through more than most, and it's certainly not easy on the brain or the body, so just trying to have fun doing it again.
So Andrew Luck retired at 29. He was completely battered. They never protected him. The Bengals obviously have tried to protect him. It hasn't always worked. And this year especially, obviously he's been injured a ton. Is there any scenario in which you would forecast Joe Burrow retiring early like Andrew Luck did?
Joe's had some tough injuries. He's battled a lot. And, when you start making comments like that it signals you're at least possibly thinking about it.
Thinking about it, right.
That could be the reason he want to play these last 3 games.
Why?
To see his last 3 games.
I don't see that.
You're never be too sure.
You're saying after what he said last week, it's possible in your mind that he could be playing these last 3 games as like, you know what? this really is it for me.
Yeah, it could be.
Wow.
You know? And
I don't see that.
just like you didn't see Andrew Luck.
That's true. The Andrew
No
Luck thing, I
one
think,
thought
shocked
Andrew Luck was about to retire.
at
No one.
29 and going into what really was going to be his peak and his pinnacle as an elite quarterback, which is what Burrow is.
No one thought that. I think you have more of an indication on this one than you did Andrew Luck. If you possibly want to like peek through the weeds a little bit, you got a little more indication on this one than you did Luck. So, listen, I don't think Joe Burrow is about to hang it up. Like I said, I think Joe Burrow is a football player, a guy that loves playing football and loves competing at the highest level. But this could be his way of saying, I want out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be the setup of like he want out of Cincinnati. Now, granted, they won't get him an offensive line, but you're not running away from T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
That's why I don't. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I mean, that's.
I know, but if you can't stay upright, then having T. Higgins and Jamar Chase means nothing. Because again, if you look at the amount that Joe Burrow has been hit in his career, they've always been bottom 5 offensive line protection his entire career. So you look at the amount of hits that he's taken, and you ask yourself, in 74 games played, he's sacked 206 times. And you ask yourself, how many times have Joe Burrow's been hurt? It's actually taken its toll. It ain't like he's a guy that's just hit often and you like Ben Roethlisberger, but he's still always on the field. And although Ben was always on the field, he was always hurt. Limping around, right? Always getting hit. Ben actually had a good line, but Ben moved around a lot and would get crushed. But Joe Burrow has a line. In a division with Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, like, do you ultimately get tired of that? You can when he's getting tackled and sacked like that, he's falling on ice, man. Like it's cold where in the division.
Yeah, those are cold. Yeah,
he's getting crushed. So that takes his toll. And like I said, it ain't like he's just been a guy where he's taking all of these hits and he's still healthy. He's actually paying the price. He's missing a lot of games.
So let me get this straight. Would you be more surprised if he said, I'm done after 3 games, or if he said, you know what, I don't want to be a Bengal anymore?
I'd be more surprised if he said, I don't want to be a Bengal.
Wow. I didn't think that's how you were going to answer that question.
I'd be more surprised if he said, I don't want to be a Bengal.
You would not be shocked if he said, I'm done?
No.
Wow.
I wouldn't be.
So the toll psychologically, obviously there's the physical, but the psychological toll of these types of injuries is that significant.
1,000%. I'm going to tell you another thing too, man. He was dealing with a toe injury. Them toes are worse than people realize. You can't move. Like, you can't do anything without your big toe. Like,
and have you had that one or similar to
I have had, yes. Like, it's crazy, man. I've never talked about this publicly. So, in high school, we had our center. He was 6'10", 6'11", and he had turf toe his senior year, my junior year. And I just used to think to myself, like, man, he's so soft.
He's soft,
like,
right?
Like, your toe, really, your toe, like, and he was missing like practices and a few games. I'm like, no, it's a toe injury. And man, the first time I got a toe injury, the first thing I thought of was Big Josh. I said, oh my God, I can't believe I thought Big Josh was soft. He actually was trying to play through this toe injury. Like, you cannot move. And so, and sometimes they just never heal. So Joe Burrow's had toe, he's had knee or 2 knees. Like, it's a lot, man. He's had wrist, right? Like, he's had all type of shit. It takes a toll.
Dude, that's a hell of a story.
Like,
whatever happened to
them
Big
toes
Josh?
Ain't no joke. Big Josh went on to Boston College, played 4 years, graduated.
What was his last name?
Josh Southern. Big Josh
I remember
Southern.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, Big John's soft, man. He won't play with his toe. Like, come on, bro, it's a toe. Man, I heard my toe the first time. I immediately was like, oh my God. If Big Josh knew I thought he was soft, I would tell him I'm sorry because my God, like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Those toes are no joke.
No, it's brutal.
I want to do some record watch.
Trey
McBride
McBride. Yeah.
Trey McBride, friend of the show, was on a couple weeks ago. He was great. He is only 11 catches away with a month left, basically, from the single season tight end record, Zach Ertz in 2008, 116. Myles Garrett, 1 sack shy of tying the all-time record. TJ Watt and Strahan, 22.5. And JSN continues to play at an elite clip. He has a chance to break Calvin Johnson's record and become the NFL's first 2,000-yard receiver. I want you to rank not what's most likely. I want you to rank what's most impressive in order.
It's hard to like all these guys are breaking records.
These
so
are all incredible records.
What's most impressive? All three of them are impressive. But the one that sticks out most to me is Myles Garrett.
Okay.
And the reason Myles Garrett sticks out most to me is because he's been doing it the longest of this group. So he's seeing double teams. He's seeing triple teams. He's facing teams have been game planning now for Myles Garrett for what, 8 years?
Yeah, and they still can't figure out, how to stop him. They can't figure out how to even contain him at all.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so when I look at that, like that is so impressive to me because in doing that, like at this point in his career where people are like, have been like game planning and building offensive lines for him for years now.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to be playing at this clip, and by like teams against him run a lot because they always losing.
Or they'll roll out the quarterback away from him. There's always trying to mitigate his pass rush when he doesn't matter.
But you're normally protecting the lead. So they're actually running the ball a lot against the Browns, I'm sure. Like, and he's doing this. And so I think I would go, not that it's most impressive because all of these are elite, but for what means the most to me and like what's more mind-blowing is Myles Garrett. And then I go Trey McBride. The reason I go Trey McBride is because everyone there's a consensus thought that Kyler Murray is not good. Like,
but he hasn't even really played this year.
That's true. And so he's doing this with backup quarterbacks, which is even better.
Yeah, Brissett's played a lot of the season, and he's actually played quite well.
For sure, he's a backup quarterback. At the end of the day, he's still not an elite quarterback. Ertz's quarterback in 2008 is Donovan McNabb, and you know Jacoby Brissett has had a very respectable career.
No, but he's not Donovan McNabb. He's not McNabb. Yeah,
and so that to me makes it all the more impressive. You know, with one hand, your starting quarterback, everybody's written him off and said he's not the guy and moving on. Then you got a backup quarterback who he's doing this with. That's impressive. JSN, first 2,000-yard receiver, possibly. Very impressive. But the reason that I went third on this one is because their offense is looking great. Sam Darnold's airing the ball out. Now, don't get me wrong, JSN is nice. He's playing great.
He is.
But
yeah,
that's why I picked this one. Just the circumstances of the other two. Like of all three of these, JSN is under the best circumstance of them all, and that's why I put him third. Nonetheless, not taking anything from it. The fact that all three of these are happening in the same season is insane.
We'll keep an eye on the playoff picture as we head into Week 16. Next up, we got our picks and parlays, but first, a word from our friends at Fanatics. Other sportsbooks just don't hit right, and as the regular season winds down, Fanatic Sportsbook has given you even more reasons to make the switch. During the holidays, Fanatic Sportsbook has offers and boosts you can use across the entire football slate, and on top of that, you earn up to 10% fan cash on your bets, win or lose. So even if a bet doesn't hit, you're still getting something back. Just check the Fanatic Sportsbook app.
So if you're betting during the holidays, make sure you're doing it with Fanatic Sportsbook.
Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See the Fanatic Sportsbook app. Now, as always, it's time for Picks and Parleys presented by Fanatic Sportsbook. Before we get into this week's parlay, we have to take a moment to acknowledge our big win last week. Draymond, let's stay hot. We've been really, really close. Really close. And we finally hit. And I think we're cooking up another good one. We have our 3-leg parlay for this week's Thursday night matchup between the Rams and Seahawks. All lines from Fanatics are up to date as of this recording, Monday, December 15th. We got the Rams at Seattle.
Absolutely.
We both love the receivers in this game. We're going to start with Puka, 8+ catches, and obviously Puka having an all-pro caliber season. JSN, we also like. We were thinking about 7+ catches, but you like a different bet even more.
Yeah, I think we go 90+ yards. Because I think that they were going, like, they send JSN up the field, and so you start getting into like the amount of receptions game. Like he'll take the top off and get a 1 reception for 65 yards. So
Yeah.
I like the 90+ receptions, and he didn't have a great game last game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think,
And then also another guy that didn't have a great game. I was at this game. He wasn't the Sam Darnold we've seen. We're going to go 225+ passing yards. The only hesitation here is that his last 2 games against the Rams, a few weeks ago, and then obviously in the playoffs, were not strong. But we both like Darnold airing it out, and what could be a pretty high-scoring affair. The over/under is pretty high, so you're with that as well. Just to confirm, Darnold 225.
I don't love it.
You don't love it, okay?
I don't love it, but I'm with it. The problem I have with these Thursday night games be tough on these guys.
Very.
And so you don't get the typical performance that you usually get from like on a Sunday.
It's never as crisp.
It's never like it's never as. So that's my worry with Sam Darnold 225. And obviously the Rams defense
is great.
Is damn good. And so that would be my worry with the 225 is like these things just don't go great. They be sloppy, they be nasty, it be penalties. It just don't be great. But with JSN 90+ yards, Sam got to be having a pretty decent one.
All right, so there it is. To recap, we got Puka 8+ catches, JSN 90+ receiving yards, Sam Darnold 225+ passing yards Thursday night. Be sure to check out our parlay in the Fanatic Sportsbook app and ride along with us on Thursday night. Now it's time, DG, for our head-to-head pick'em, where each week we pick the hottest games against the spread. We both went 1-2 last week with Monday Night Football still in question. We are eerily similar. You are 25.
Wait, who'd you take in Monday Night Football last week?
This week I took.
Yeah, excuse me, this week.
I believe I took the Dolphins, and you took the Steelers.
Yeah, you did.
So,
of course.
Yeah.
How that's going to turn out.
So you're 25-32-1. I'm 26-31-1. Games of interest. Let's start with Green Bay at Chicago. So Green Bay not only comes off a tough loss to Denver, but they lose Micah Parsons. I reported it earlier today with a torn ACL. Brutal. They are a 1.5-point favorite. This really surprised me that they were favorite at Chicago. So I'm going to take the Bears, getting 1.5 and no Micah Parsons.
I feel like the Bears never come through when I need them to come through, but no Micah Parsons. Caleb's played well. I feel like LaFleur is like Ben Johnson. It's not your time yet.
Right.
Wow.
You're stuck on this one.
I am stuck on this one because I believe Chicago should win, especially with no Micah.
At home too. I mean, that's that. I think in these NFC North, like those are all real home fields. Chicago.
Yeah.
This is the most excited Chicago's been about a football team in, I guess, since Rex Grossman.
That is true.
Maybe
Trubisky
for 1 year.
That's nasty, but it's true. However, Green Bay has always dominated Chicago. So even with
Aaron Rodgers has always dominated Chicago.
Aaron Rodgers was playing there for 16 years.
All right, well, So you're taking the Packers.
Favre also dominated Chicago.
Wait, so who are you taking?
That's 30 years of football, bro.
Fine. The Packers. So who are you taking? This is it.
Oh my God. I'm gonna regret this, but I'll take Chicago too.
Tampa Bay is a 3-point favorite at Carolina. I don't know how the Bucs can be favored right now. I mean, it's not the offense; it's the defense. Todd Bowles. I'm sorry, man. It has been a catastrophe defensively, and that's your defense. Give me the Panthers getting 3 at home.
Perfect. Here's where I make my hay. I'll take Tampa Bay. No question. Tampa Bay. Easy. Tampa Bay.
Wow. New England at Baltimore. Ravens a 3-point favorite, which means if it's a neutral site, Vegas is telling you it's a pick. I'm gonna take the Pats. I don't know how they lost to the Bills. I don't know how they lost that game, but they did. And Drake May's pissed, and they still have a shot at the 1 seed, albeit a smaller one. But I like the Pats.
Yeah, I like the Pats as well. I want Baltimore to lose, continue to boost my Steelers. So this is a picking with my heart and not my brain. My brain says Baltimore, but my heart says Baltimore need to lose. So I'm going to pick New England.
Niners 5.5-point favorites at Indy, the same Indy that we just talked about with Phillip Rivers. This is a tough. I'm going to take the Colts 5.5. If they can push Seattle to the brink on the road, then they can cover 5.5 at home against San Francisco.
Most definitely. Robert Saleh get to scout Phillip Rivers for a week now, make it a lot tougher.
There's not much to scout though. The guy, they're not doing much. That's the beauty of it, really. It's so simple.
But what you're not going to do is just run the ball down Robert Saleh's throat. So
fine. But Taylor is fantastic, and they're going to run the ball.
Great. And so is San Fran. And you got to keep up offensively.
They just gave up 24 to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I only know that because I started them in the fantasy playoffs, and they gave me 0 points. Thanks.
Cam Ward played his best game. So that's your heart's in it. Cam Ward played his best game, and they lost by 3 touchdowns. I'll take San Francisco, and here's another place where I make my hay.
We'll track these picks every week, powered by Fanatic Sportsbook. You can follow along and put your own futures in the Fanatics app. DG, that's a wrap on this week's episode. Any parting thoughts?
A few guys.
What do you got?
Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
Michael Parsons. Little less serious, but injury is injury. Devontae Adams. Man, wishing them guys a speedy recovery, man. This sport is brutal. And
it is brutal,
what guys do, and I think people tend to forget, like, you're not just missing games or missing practice. Like, you live that injury every day. Like, you want to play with your kids, you live that injury. You want to do this, get up off the couch, you live that injury, and so it impacts your total life. It impacts your way of life. So I wish those guys a speedy recovery and much.
See, that's a great point. That's a great point, because we as NFL fans, even you, by the way, and you're the biggest NFL fan maybe that I know, we as NFL fans only see these dudes for 3 hours on a freaking Sunday. That's it.
That's it.
That is a microscopic portion of their days, of their weeks. And so
absolutely,
what you just said, it's like, to me, that really hits. And actually, Phillip Rivers said something that was, I thought, really powerful after the Seahawks game. He said, as athletes, basically, there is a lot of self-doubt. It is real. And when you have an injury, I imagine, DG, that self-doubt gets amplified significantly.
1,000%. Like, man, can I do it? Like, then you don't jump as hard. You don't jump, run as fast because you're like, I don't know.
You're
you
tentative.
Really don't want to prove yourself wrong, so you're like, That's why for most people it just kind of happens. Like, they go and it's like, oh, I did it. You didn't even realize it, because it's so mental, man. It's always some self-doubt. Always.
Yeah, I just think there needs to be a level of respect for what you all go through. I mean, the injuries in the NFL, dude, like this, I say it all the time. These are modern day gladiators. There is no
1000%.
sport that is more physically demanding. I mean, I love hockey, but the NFL, there's a reason there's only 17 games because you can't do any more physically. You just can't.
Facts. Get rid of the turf, man.
Yes.
Get rid of the turf.
All right, that's it.
Those are my parting thoughts. Get rid of
good
the
parting
turf. Subscribe right now on YouTube. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and download Fanatic Sportsbook so you can make your picks along with us.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.